What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo.
Canadian
I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
To all you Blues fans, we're bleeding blue with you.
Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues.
Now please welcome to the ice for their pregame warm-up. Presented by Scott Credit Union. Yours.
BlueNote Fan Report. Didn't know how long I could hold that. Hello, this is the BlueNote Fan Report. Wow, man, I need to learn how to speak. This is the BlueNote Fan Report with Guy and Justin. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I am paying the favor forward, my friend. I am paying the favor forward. You know what I mean by that, right?
No, not really.
A few days ago, or last week, I needed a show. Just because I needed a show, and you were there for me, and you sent me a message the other day saying you needed a show, so this is the show for you because you needed a show. I'm paying it forward, my friend.
I appreciate it. I definitely needed a show, man. Needed to get my mind off some things. Yep.
Oh, I get it. Oh, man, I get it. I get it more than anything. We got a little bit to talk about. Some Blues related, some NHL related. I guess the big thing NHL related, and I want to talk to it right off the bat, get it done and get it over with, right? Is the Hockey Canada thing, right? Hockey Canada came down, found the 5 guys not guilty. Unfortunately, the stain of this is going to stay with them forever, right? It doesn't matter what happens, it stays with them. And there's a huge example of this. Patrick Kane. Patrick Kane still lives with the incident that happened with him, and it was absolute. I mean, that didn't even go to trial. They dropped the charges straight up. Straight up before it got announced. They did an investigation and then dropped the charge, and it still sticks with him.
Yeah.
Right? So with this Hockey Canada thing, it's going to stick with them. I saw things. Oh, they should be suspended indefinitely, or they should be, banned for life, this and that. I don't know what it is with our society, and I have a really, I guess, unique view on this. When it comes to sex, we have this, we like to think that we're open and honest and all. No, we are next to the Muslim countries, probably the most conservative country when it comes to sex. And it in some ways it drives me nuts. In other ways, but the stain is going to stay there. And we saw it with Maylou. His thing came out. It's been 4 years, 3 years, right? Nothing has come up. He's been a model citizen. And I saw it. He's a POS, get rid of, why would you take that? I mean, it was all there. Right?
Yeah, generally when stuff like this happens, I mean, you're always, it's sad because it's like, this is a hockey show. I don't like to get into this kind of talk, but obviously this is, on brand, but like it kind of goes like to like all like the sexual assault, scenarios and cases that you see all the time. That just ruin people's lives.
I had it happen to me.
Yeah, I mean, your reputation, like it seriously tarnishes your reputation, especially if you. if you did
Absolutely.
not, like, if you're not, if you really did not commit those crimes, then that really ruins your life. I know
Yeah.
people from school that I went to school with that like got in trouble for that, and it ruined their careers. It ruined their scholarships for playing sports and
Yeah.
all that.
And that's and it doesn't take anything other than someone to say it. I had an incident. I'm not going to get into the incident, but a person went out, claimed that I sexually assaulted her, went to the police department here in Honolulu. They told her nothing happened. Right? There was no crime committed. She still filed complaints. She did all this stuff, and then she went to people that I knew out of the blue and told them what I did. And a lot of people dropped me without even calling me to find out what happened. I lost almost 100 followers in days because of it.
See, the thing with me is, and don't get me wrong, I'm not like, and I want to make this clear because I don't want the show to get a bad rap or myself get a bad rap. I am not speaking to actual victims. Actual victims, if that happened to you, then that is horrible, and those people deserve to rot. But I'm talking about the people who go out and make false accusations. Those, I've always been under the impression that people that go out and make false accusations should be put on trial and be serving time. Really, like if they're knowingly lying about something like that could ruin somebody else's life, they should be charged for that. That they should most definitely be charged for that. Just in my opinion. Did I lose you, guy? You still here, bud?
Sorry, man. I'm having some internet issues here, and I got bounced.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering. I was like, yeah, who's you guy? I don't know where it stopped.
Yeah.
Where did it cut off for you?
You were talking about people that make false accusations.
Yeah, I've always been under the impression that if you make a false accusation, you should be charged, and you should be sitting in a jail cell for for amount of time that person would possibly get for the crime that you falsely committed them for.
Well, I gotta put a little bit of put a little stop there, right? I get what you're saying, but it's not always quote unquote a false accusation.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I say that is in their mind, in the person's mind, this is what happened to them. Right?
Yeah.
However, that doesn't mean that in the legal sense, what happened. Right? What's Matt Lowe saying? Tarred and feathered.
For me,
my thing with it is some of this shouldn't be made public.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now,
yeah,
I do say this. With this one with Hockey Canada, it really sounds like there had to be enough to take this to trial. How it got flipped or whatever, I don't know. I didn't pay attention to it. But
there was no doubt in my mind that I think something definitely happened. I mean, there's no way, like you said, that this thing goes to trial if something didn't happen. There's no way.
and they so it's a difficult thing to deal with. She was drunk but wasn't. I don't want to get into it, Matt Lowe. I mean, believe it or not, what we just talked about with that's it. I'm done. I do not want to hear about Hockey Canada again. I will ignore any more comments about Hockey Canada. I'm over it. Right? I'm saying that right here, right now. I'm over Hockey Canada. Whatever. The only thing the NHL has said is while they are not suspended, they are not eligible to play.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some discussion before these guys are eligible to play. Right?
Yeah.
And that's, we're going to leave it at that. Let's get into, so today on NHL.com, they did their team reset on the Blues. We'll get into that. The other thing that we'll talk about, we'll start off the day. Well, we'll talk about a preview. We're going to preview the division. And yes, I know on my picture it said 2015-16. Sorry, I didn't get to cover that up. But I added the Mammoth logo, so you should figure out that it's actually this year because then the Mammoths didn't exist. Right? So I couldn't find one for this season that had all the logos, so I had to find one that I could that was good enough for me to add the Mammoth logo to, and this was the closest one. And what we're going to start the day with is the Young Guns, right? The NHL has been putting out this thing with Young Guns, and you'd sent me this not too long ago. There was a thing that compared the Chicago's Young Guns.
No, it was Detroit. Detroit?
I thought it was Chicago.
No, I think it's Detroit.
Hold on a second.
Because it had Lucas Raymond on it and stuff like that. And that's
there
Detroit.
We go. Oh, it was Detroit. Okay. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The Detroit Young Guns to the Blues Young Guns. And I honestly can't read. I got to see if I can pull this up so I can read it a little better. Man.
You can't go full screen? Right? Can you not go full screen on that?
My screen, I am full screen. But my TV that I'm looking at this at is 4 feet from me. Even though it's a 30, 40-inch TV, it's still my eyesight isn't good enough to read all the names on that. So if you give me a second here, I'm going to...
Well, then definitely don't ask me to read it because my eyes are bad.
Yeah. You can't read and I can't see, or I can't hear. Oh, my goodness. What am I doing here, guy? Figure your life out. Figure stuff out, dum-dum.
I mean, obviously, the Blues prospect pool we're familiar with. Like, we don't really have to even see that to know it's the Detroit side of things.
So who they have is the Blues Young Guns, and this is players that are 23 and older, at 23 and younger, and that is why Boberg is not on it because he's 24, right? Yeah. Boberg is actually 24. So they have on it for us Justin Carbonneau, Dilbert Dvorsky, Dylan Holloway, Jake Neighbors, Jimmy Snugard. Right? Did I say that right for a change?
Snuggerud.
Why do I look at it and say Snugard?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It kind of sounds like you don't put any emphasis on the R, but I mean, it's not bad. I mean, you said Dalibor Dvorsky pretty well though.
So you're saying it's Snuggerud, and I'm saying it's Snugard. So kind of putting emphasis on the R.
Okay, yeah. My bad. The way I'm hearing it. Yeah, it's Snuggerud. But I mean, I know who you're talking about. Everybody knows who you're talking about.
And then they have Mailou on there, right? Our goalie, we could have put Ellis. Well, actually, no. I think Ellis is 25. I think the only goalie. No, I don't think we have a goalie under 23. Right?
The only person that would be. I said the only person under that would be the draft pick that we made this season.
Yeah, and we don't know anything about this guy.
Yeah, we don't know any about it.
You're not going to put a 6th-round draft pick as a young guy. It's not. Ellis is 24, same as Hoffer. Okay, right? There we go. Ellis is 24, same as Hoffer, and I think Drzinko's 25. I could
Yeah,
be wrong
sounds
on
about
that,
right.
but I think actually, well, okay, now he's calling me out, so let's double check this. I love Matt Lowe. I love him. He's a good guy. he gives it to me. He will give it to me. I will tell you that. He will not let me off the hook.
Keeping him honest, Matt Lowe. I like it.
Okay. Will Cranley is 23. Drzinko and Ellis are both 24. Right?
Yeah.
Cranley is our fifth stringer. Right? So
Yeah. Cranley, I don't see making much of an impact Blues wise, to be honest. But
yeah.
it's the other two that would actually be Ellis for sure. I could see, eventually in that lineup.
So when I look at this, first of all, I don't think Carbonell should be there. I get it. They wanted 6 of them, so they put him there. I don't think he should be. Right?
Yeah.
Way too early to put Carbonell on there. Yeah, especially when you could have put Lindstein on there. Or
that was an interesting non-choice.
And then there was the other one. Oh man, why am I blanking out today?
Theo Lindstein and
you could have put Lindstein on there. You could have put
Stenberg, Otto Stenberg.
Steinberg on there. Gicho, right? Gicho you could have put on there. We have guys. We have a lot of guys that are Jarek. You could have put on there, though he has had injury issues. I think he falls in that. Fisher falls in that. We've got guys that are in this area that could really, really come out. We have Bushinger and Gaudet, who are both playing in Springfield, right? And they are pushing the envelope down in Springfield. In fact, Samantha and I forget her friend, they want us to come on their show, so we got to set that up, right? We got to set that up.
Yeah,
I think that'll be fun. Matt Los is just trying to help. Top 2 players next season that need a better year. Ooh, that's a great question. That's a great question. You want to take the first shot at that?
2 players that I think that have to have a better year.
Yeah.
I would say honestly, that's actually an interesting one. I feel like Shin's a too obvious of a choice, right? But I mean, do we really think Shin's going to have a better year than what he had last season? Because I mean, I'm not saying he was great last season, but the age is going to play a factor. So I mean, do we think that he has a better year? I think maybe, getting a full line. I think we'll talk about the projected lines. I did send you something before the show started. So we'll probably go, touch into that. I would say Neighbors was good, but I think we could still see more from Neighbors, to be honest. If I'm honest, I love Neighbors, but I think Neighbors should have a big season this season.
Yeah. The ones that are coming up in the chat, I kind of knew were coming up. Bush and Falk. This one's Bush and Torpo. Matt Lowe says Bush for sure. I'm not going to go. I'm going to look at Bush's year last year and say that was an anomaly, right? He clashed.
Yeah.
He clashed with Bannister from the get-go. From the get-go. And I think he came into the season thinking Bannister was going to be. First of all, I think he came into the season thinking Bannister wasn't going to be there. And then with Bannister being there, I think that he thought Bannister would get more offensive, and he didn't. And Bush struggled in a defensive system. right?
Yeah.
You saw some of this. Here's the thing, and we talked about this last show. Remember when we broke the numbers down? The difference between Bannister as a defensive coach and God, I'm lost.
Berube.
No, Bannister. The difference between Bannister coaching and Montgomery coaching, right?
Oh, yeah.
The defensive coach versus offensive coach. The numbers, right?
Yeah.
How much better the defensive numbers were with an offensive coach, right? I mean, it was astonishing to me when we got into that.
Well,
When I go and I think about this question, right? The two players that come to mind to me may not come to mind to most people. And my first one is going to be Mateo Joseph.
Matthew Joseph.
Or Matthew Joseph. Well, it's Mateo, right? I think it's Mateo.
No, I think it's Matthew Joseph. Everybody calls him Matthew. But I mean, I could be wrong, but it's always been Matthew to me.
I thought it was Mateo. Yeah, it is Mateo. Well, it's Mathieu.
Yeah, it's spelled. Matthew has been spelled in that way. Usually it is. Usually it's like French. Usually I think is usually how you spell it that way.
Hold on a sec. We're gonna. I'm gonna do something here real quick. Just give me a second. God dang it! Go back. Why do I screw this up so much sometimes? Okay, you are right. It is Matthew. Right?
Yeah.
I say it the way I see it, but I'm on NHL's media site.
Yeah.
I have access to that, so they have like pronunciations of names.
Yeah, it's a cool. Honestly, I love the way that he spells his name. It's not it's not the traditional Matthew. Like I said, it's like mostly something you'd see from like people from Quebec when they spell their name Matthew.
French Canadian.
Okay,
French,
so
right?
that makes sense. That's why it's Matthew.
Okay,
but it looks that way.
For me, he's going to be in a more prominent role than he was last year, right? And you talked about the lineups. I don't like that lineup. I don't like it at all, and we'll talk about it here in a little bit. Actually, I think we may. I was going to talk about it third. We may talk about it second, but I don't like the lineup at all. I'll be honest with you. I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
But Joseph has got to step up. Joseph has got, if he's going to be on that line with Neighbors and Shin, he's got to step it up. He's got to score goals. He's got to be a playmaker or otherwise he doesn't fit on that line. Right? What good does it have to have two guys on that line that are going to go chase down the puck and Neighbors, who's, a net front presence, there's no one to pass the puck to Neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Who's going to pass the puck to Neighbors? So, in my mind, if Joseph is going to be on that line, Joseph has got to change his game and be the playmaker. Either him or Shin has got to be the playmaker. And I don't know if Shin is that guy anymore.
Well, the line that the projected lines or whatever that I sent were Joseph's not in the projected lineup, and I don't see him being. Personally. No, it's and actually Shin is playing where I thought he would play, and that is with Kyrou and Holloway on the second line.
Yeah, hold on.
It's Pius Suter, Bjorkstrand, Nick Bukestad and Neighbors together on the third line, and then Sundquist drops to the third or the fourth with Torpdo.
I forgot about Bjorkstrand.
Yeah.
Man, I don't like that lineup. I don't like this lineup at all. I honestly don't. Right?
It doesn't surprise me in the slightest because remember when I said that I 100% believe that they're going to run with the Shin, Holloway, and Kairu line again?
Yeah.
That's what I think they're going to do. I really do think that.
I don't. I really don't. I think. Hold on a sec. Let me kind of breathe in here for a second. Let me. Wow. We'll get into this. My other player was Sonny.
Mm-hmm.
Sonny has got to win faceoffs, and Sonny has got to be the guy that gets elevated because of Walker. When Sonny played with Walker, I didn't see Sonny get elevated. And I don't fault Walker for that. I fault Sonny for that. Right? I honestly think the guys in the third and the fourth line are going to be so much more important to this lineup than people realize. Because I think this is a lineup. You look at it right now where you could roll 4 lines. You look at we'll look at that line. Let me see if I can pull that lineup up that you had. Let me see if I can pull this up here real quick.
I might have a little bit of a difference of opinion to your opinion on these lines per se, but obviously I think things will be.
Well, let's pull it up. This was the starting lineup as per. This is the starting lineup as per NHL.com, right? The projected lineup as per NHL.com. Let's see if this. Right. Okay. I think that kind of works. We'll go back to here. Right. So the top line, I do not like at all. This top line to me is wrong. You are taking a kid that has what? 12 games total in the NHL? Maybe a little more than that, right?
Yeah.
What's he got total? Hold on a sec.
Let's see. He had 7 in the playoffs, so that's 7 there, and then I think he's had it's about that. 12 or 13, I'd say, probably.
He has 14 games.
14, okay.
7 in the playoffs and 7 in the regular season. Right?
Yeah.
14 games. You're going to take a guy, and I get it, he's 21. I get he did 3 years. I get that. But you're going to take a guy with 14 games experience and put him on a top line with a guy that could be a 100-point player and in the conversation for a Hart Trophy? If not a Hart, the Selke?
Mm-hmm.
I struggle with that. I don't think that's the right move, especially to start the season.
So yeah, well, and I don't know, and we don't know if this is going to be for sure, what they do. But it's kind of like what I was saying, Guy, about how I do believe that even if this doesn't start as a top line, as your top line, I do think Snuggerud at some point will be playing on the first line with Thomas and Buchnevich. The thing with this lineup is I feel like it's going to be interchangeable. So, how coaches, when things are going right, they're going to try to change things up and, try to create some momentum another way by putting guys with different players. But the way that I look at this is I'm going to play devil's advocate to you and say that this could either be really good or it could be really bad, because I look at a guy like Robert Thomas, who is a very, very smart player. Me personally, I think he's one of the best playmakers in the league. And that's just my honest opinion.
I agree. There's a bunch of comments I'm missing here, so I might have to go back and look at them. I just think, you know what? And we got, I want to bring, hey, Wendy, how you doing, buddy?
Doing all right.
How's the Florida weather treating you?
It's too hot and humid.
How's the niece treating you?
She's doing great.
Right? She keeping you on your toes?
Yeah.
How old's your niece?
9 months.
9 months, yeah. she walking?
No, not yet.
No. Crawling? Moving around?
Crawling.
Yeah. So, can you see the screen, bud?
I can.
This is, NHL did their Blues team reset today.
Yeah.
This is their projected lineup.
Okay.
I don't like it at all, to be honest.
Most of the team lineup projections this so far I've seen, I have not liked. I will say that. And they aren't structuring rosters right together.
I don't feel like they are. To me, Snoogie does not. He may, like Justin says, be on the top line later in the season, but I don't think you put him on the top line after 14 games. I really don't. I think he needs to be on that third line. I think he needs to be on a line where he can make mistakes and they're not going to hurt the team. A guy making mistakes on the first line hurts the team. You know what? To me, you know what's going to happen if they put this guy on the first line? It's going to be a Kyrou situation. It's absolutely going to be a Kyrou situation. He's going to cough the puck up. He's going to make a mistake, and everybody's going to get on him no matter what he does offensively. Right?
Yeah.
Am I off base here?
I feel like, see, the way that I look at this is like, you see teams try this a lot, like where they put like a really young guy, like a Snuggerud. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head, like specific team, but like how they put like the young guy with the top line, and it could either hurt them or it can help them. It's kind of like a wait and see kind of situation. I don't know if something like this would work. Like I said, I do think that Snuggerud will be playing with Robert Thomas at some point, just because of the fact of Snuggerud's he's a shooter. And I think that might be their mindset if they do something like this, is Snuggerud's a shooter. Thomas is a playmaker. It might work. That's the positive that I'm putting into this. Yeah. Does it work? I don't know.
Right. I want to go back and try and catch up on these comments. So they're go back a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm getting some crap for Matthew. I'm sorry. I seen it how it was. I'm going to try and go back. Done. So we were talking about, it all started with the top two players. Anomaly or not, he could, this is talking about Buchnevich. He could be on the start of a new trend down if he lets it. I don't think Bush is going to be on a trend down. And he's asking me if I checked out Springfield schedules, because it's possible I could go to one of the games. I haven't checked it out. I will do that. I think Bush's new contract and the fact that he's on the top line gives him a higher expectation for next season. I'm not going to discount that. I get it. I just don't think that everyone looks at Bush and says he has a bad year. I don't think he had as bad of a year as everybody thinks he did.
No, Bush really stepped it up in the second half of the season. The thing is I'm not going to, like, I get it. You want your guys to produce, especially if you're playing on the first line. But Bush is a pillar of consistency, and until I see a continuation of a poor performance by him, I'm not going to crap on him, because he's been a pillar of consistency.
I think that the reason we have Montgomery as a head coach is Buchnevich. I think he was a straw that broke the camel's back. I absolutely believe that. Right? And then I'm getting some crap, that it is Matthew. And I said, it looks like Mateu, and that's the way I pronounced it. It is Matthew. I pulled it up. Sorry. I get Justin's answer about Jake. But what if What if this is what Jake is, a 20 to 25 goal scorer in the middle six? If Jake doesn't progress, he's still a good. I think he's still going to progress.
I think
he's tapped out.
Yeah, I think Neighbors has a lot more in the tank. I'm me personally, the third line that I'm looking at right now, I'm excited to see how a Neighbors and P Suter work together if that's what they decide to run, because both guys are really hard on the puck. They really try hard out there. I think it could be some good stuff out there.
You guys are going to like Pew Suter, trust me. The one season Puce was in Chicago, I really was ticked off when they just let him walk free agency after his rookie year to go over to Detroit. Puce is a good.
I heard. That's what I heard. I heard everybody that I'm seeing, all the media, other teams, other fans, saying that this guy is, he's a very hard-working player. He's a guy who doesn't give up on the play. He can play second line minutes for you. He's a guy that is only kind of progressing like year by year, which is nice to hear. And people are saying that he's like our best free agency signing.
He is. So, he's definitely your best signing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, Suter is our best signing. I get that, but I look at this, and I know people don't want to break up that Shen, Kyrou, Holloway line, but Suter's faster, and Suter can do the same thing Shen can do with more speed. Wouldn't you rather, with the Kyrou speed and with Holloway speed, put Suter speed there?
Honestly, you don't want to have Suter play full-time second line minutes. If you do, that's a recipe for failure, in my opinion.
For me, it's like I was saying before, like Suter can play that second line minute. I don't know if they, like I said, I don't think that they put him there like to start off with. I really do think that they keep keep Shin there just because of how well they're doing. I mean, they were one of the better second lines in the whole league. When they were all playing. So I just don't think you split that up. I do think, though, that the goal is to have Suter swoop into some of those minutes on the second line this season. But I don't think he'll be like a mainstay there unless, that line just absolutely kills it.
Who are you? I'm saying this. I'm kind of lost in the comments here. Who do you think is a cancer in the locker room? I don't think we have anybody that would be a cancer.
I don't think anybody is a cancer right now for us right now.
Jen doesn't have to be fast with Holloway and Kyrou, two of the fastest skaters in the league.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't have to be fast.
He doesn't have to be, but what about putting a guy that is?
Mm-hmm.
That's the question I'm asking. What about putting a guy that is? I'm not sure who you're talking about there. Who are you talking about?
Well, and the thing with Suter is like everybody's under this impression that he's he's faster than Shen. I'll give him that, but Shen is way older than Suter. I will say that Suter is not like some fast guy. Like people think he's like extremely fast. He's not that fast. He looks fast. He plays fast. That's different than actually being fast.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see how it works out. I think that those two, Shen and Suter, will interchange with each other. I really do.
I could see that. Oh, Suter's not. No.
No.
Hold on. Just because a guy's been on multiple teams has nothing to do with the locker room.
No.
You want to address this, Wendy?
Yeah. When Puce was on the Blackhawks, he was there for his rookie year in the camp and the COVID season. So the COVID shortened season was his rookie season in the NHL. He only signed a 1-year entry-level deal with the Hawks at the time, And the Hawks were then thinking they can contend with how well they played in the COVID season. So they ended up letting him go because they had Stan Bonehead as their GM. So they let him walk as a free agent to go to where he ended up signing with Detroit. He played with Detroit for a couple seasons and then signed as a free agent in Vancouver. Vancouver loved him, loved his play. He worked out well there, but they just he ended up becoming a free agent again because Vancouver just, I have no clue honestly what's going on in Vancouver. And you guys picked up a good player.
Yeah.
He's a
Vancouver,
good utilities player.
yeah. So I'm trying to pull up his stats now.
I remember him having a hat trick in the COVID season, and it came against Detroit. I do remember that game.
This is not that. This is he pulled, he did 27 points in the COVID season. He did 36 points with Detroit, then 24 with Detroit in 79 of 82 games. First year with Vancouver, he got hurt a little bit. He did 67 games for 29 points. Last year, he had a breakout, 81 games, 46 points, right? Plus 2. Suter's not a locker room cancer.
No, he's a guy that you
Yeah.
honestly like to have in your lineup. He's a good utility player. He can play up if needed, but you would prefer to have him play like third line, fourth line minutes. He can produce points.
He's
you want him to
29, but I think he plays younger. It feels like to me he plays younger than 29.
You want to play. And I think that's a good point, Wendy, that you bring up. That it's not all about it's great to have guys that can come up, but it's even more important to have guys that can be depth pieces. That's more important than anything. He's a great depth signing. Is how I view it.
I don't like the lineup, and that's I just feel like I don't know. First of all, putting Bergstrom and Suter on the same line, that's 2 centers.
Butestag plays wing a lot.
Yeah,
too.
he plays wings too.
Yeah. Okay.
The thing is the way I look at that move, guy, is they're freeing up a spot for Sonny, because I think Sonny's going to have that spot there until he loses it. And I do think that, there's probably going to be times where we see Sundqvist sitting and Bukestad goes down to that fourth line and plays center on that fourth line if Sundqvist isn't doing it.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that, and have Joseph on the third line. Joseph or XCA.
Yeah. It would be one of those. Yeah, it would be one of the other scratches that you have. Probably a Texier. I would probably go with Texier. But they could have either or, really.
Here's the defense and the goaltending. I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with this at all. I think that this is going to work in our favor. I think that Fowler has found the fountain of youth with the Blues. He has gotten a chance to go to the playoffs. He's gotten that feeling of being on a team that could win, and it's rejuvenated him. Boberg and Falk. I think Falk will have a better year this year. And then, Mailou and Tucker is that Tucker? Yeah. So you're going to have Mailou, Tucker, and Kessel switch out, play those bottom 6 minutes for a while. Mailou could jump up.
That's actually a good point, because I was just about to say that Mailou might he might get minutes playing with a Broberg possibly, depending on how he's doing in the season, or even higher up, they might try him playing on that first pair, but he'd have to really, I think, impress for that to happen. But I think he can move up to that second pair at least.
Well, you guys are just not going to give me any slack on name pronunciations, are you? Right? Not any. No slack whatsoever. Right?
Ryan Green, you still need to change your profile. You're a Blackhawk now. Come on, man.
Who?
Ryan Green.
You suck at names. I know I suck at names, but okay. You know, it's kind of like, I don't know. If you remember back when the show first went to, it was more of a live show. I had a co-host. I'm not going to say his name. We're not going to, but he would, oh man, he berated me on the show with names. Like I struggled with Krug. And Krug! It's Krug! It's Krug! I'm not joking! I'm not joking!
I just tried to help you pronounce the name if you need it.
What?
I just tried to help you pronounce the name
Yeah.
if you need it.
And that's fine. It's fine if you're helping, but when it feels like it's nagging or being done facetiously, that's where I get a little. I don't know. I get a little personal to me, right?
Mhm.
It starts to feel like it's not in jest or in fun.
Yeah.
Right. Rayon. I'm not even sure what this is. I'm helping you. You just take it up the.
Names are hard. Names are hard, man. They're not. You know, when you look at something, you're instantly thinking like, oh, it says this. You know, it looks like this. This is what I'm. You know, how I'm used to pronouncing it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not an easy thing.
No, and like I killed Bookstrad's name. It's Berkstrad, right?
Butestag.
Butestad.
I killed it on the interview. I destroyed it on the interview. Right?
Yeah.
I absolutely destroyed that name on the interview. Yeah. Ha! Say it again, Wendy.
Butestad.
Butestag.
The J throws me off. I see the J. Take the damn
It's a
J out.
silent
and it'll be
J.
fine.
Yeah, it's a silent J. Yeah. Butestad.
Right? Yeah, take the J out and I'll be fine. Right? The J screws me up. And it's the same thing with Joseph, you know? You look at the spelling. And you know what? And it's my name. My name is the same way. In the hockey world, my name is not pronounced the way it's spelled.
Are you saying about it being for the most French people by calling Guy Guy?
Right? Right? Gary Younger calls me Guy. Almost all the hockey players that I know call me, some of them will get Guy, but most of them will call me Guy. And I'm okay with that. Right? I'm absolutely okay with that. But it's just the way it is, you know. I don't my name is really, really weird, and that it's actually more Italian than it is French. And it actually came out of England. And it's short. In fact, E, what is my name short for? You should know this. I'm asking E. Right? If you're out there, E, what is my name short for? You should know this. I'm gonna give him a second to throw it in there. Do either of you guys know what my name is short for? Don't. If you know it, don't say it. I want to give E a chance.
Yeah, I do not know.
Right? Okay.
Yeah,
What is my name short for? What is my name short for, bud? Mallow. No clue. He says no clue, but it's in his name. My name is short for Guido. That's where it comes from. Guido Fawkes. Guy Fawkes. Guy is short for Guido. Right? So that's why I was pointing you out there, E. That's where my name comes from. It is a shortened form of Guido.
My
Right?
last name means Mr. in Italian.
Right? So look it up. Look it up. No. Go look it up. You will see that my name comes from Guido, Guy Fawkes, from the Gunpowder Revolution in England, was Guido Fawkes. And in England, they shortened Guido to Guy. How they got it from there, I couldn't tell you, but that's what they got. And that's where my name comes from. Check it out. If you don't believe me. How about them Blues? Yeah, we can get off topic really quick, right? I think the Blues had a good offseason, right? I think they've had a good offseason. What they lost, and if I go, you can go to the NHL and see their thing on the Blues, right? What they lost was not like I look at it and I go, okay, what player did we lose that's going to hurt us the most? Right? And here are the 4 players we lost: Bolduc, Fosca, Letty, and Suter. Of those 4, who's going to hurt us the most?
Bolduc.
I mean, that's a pretty give me right there.
So and I've talked about this. I didn't think that we got enough for Bolduc. I think that we should have gotten a little more out of that. Fosca, Letty, and Suter are all replaceable. All legitimately replaceable.
One of the guys retired, basically.
Well, he hasn't retired, and we just didn't re-sign him to a contract.
Yeah, but no, I don't think any team's going to sign him.
Probably not.
So that's why I said basically retired.
Yeah, but he doesn't retire as a Blue. He signs a one-day and retires with Minnesota.
No, I don't. I think he'll sign some weird one-day contract so he could get paid by another team.
Right. So, but usually
he's
one-day
still getting
contracts
paid
have-
by
one-day
Minnesota.
contracts
So
have no monetary value.
he's technically still getting paid by Minnesota, so he can't sign a one-day contract with them.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's still under contract with them. It's just like he's getting paid.
I thought his Minnesota contract ran out this year.
No, it was like the big chunk of the contract is up now because how the buyout situation went with Minnesota. He was taking for the first 3 years of the buyout. It was really high money. This year was the first year of it being like pennies to the salary cap.
Fosca, to me, I think too many people looked at Fosca as Fosca's not the heart and soul of that. Was never the heart and soul of that third line. Right? That fourth line. That fourth line was Walker. Straight up Walker. Walker made that fourth line. Absolutely made that fourth line. I challenge someone to argue with me on that. E, you're on this Montreal thing again, and I disagree with you, E. I don't think that it was Armstrong. Again, I feel like we should have gotten more, but Armstrong agreed to this. So if Armstrong felt we should have gotten more, he should have gotten more and not done the trade. So I don't know, right? Bolduc didn't make that third line. No, he didn't. And Bolduc, I think Bolduc's scoring is going to come from Snooki. I think that you're going to replace. That's where I think your scoring is going to come from. Right? I really do. I could be wrong. I bet Maylou has a crazy year. I think he does too. I think with Montgomery that he blossoms.
Hey, Ryan Green, here's your new profile picture. If my phone doesn't overexpose. This is from your NHL debut, bud. This should be your profile picture. It's too exposed.
It's a little.
I don't have my good camera with me to where it would show it.
What is that on NHL.com?
No, but I could send you a picture of it.
No, I can find it real quick. I think. Hold on, I'll find it real quick. All I'm seeing is the here.
There.
There we go. That's what I'm seeing.
Oh. I DM'd you a picture of the picture from his NHL debut.
Oh, okay. Right. What'd you send it to me on?
Twitter. There you go, Ryan Green.
Oh my god!
I was waiting for the day to actually show him a picture with Ryan Green in a Fox uniform.
The goals are going to come from Snoogie, Bush, and Melo having a good season. I can see that. I don't have an issue with that statement. Snuggie easily gets Bolduc's 19 goals from last season in my eyes. I hope so. I just think I don't know. I'm not. He's going to be a Calder watch all year, fellas. I do agree with that. I think we have two. I said it in the interview. We have two Calder candidates, right? In Maylou and Snuggerud. Snuggerud. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, Snuggerud. You're right. Snuggerud. You're right.
Wendy, do you agree with me on that or disagree?
I kind of disagree there.
Okay. You're more than welcome.
The reason why is, when was the last time St. Louis truly had a player really viewed for a top individual award like the Calder?
Well, we've only had one Calder winner, and that was Jackman.
Okay.
Right? Ryan O'Reilly won the Selke not too long ago.
Okay.
Right? In 19, he won the Selke and the King Clancy.
Okay. My thing is, it's going to be difficult because St. Louis seems to be always a team to be overlooked from the media when they are voting for awards. You're also going to have teams like, for Calder runnings, you're going to have a team like Chicago with Sam Renzel this coming season, Montreal with Ivan Demidov competing for it again. And it's going to be difficult.
Thank you. That's exactly what I even said, Guy, when we were talking about it. I said, what happens? The Blues are usually overlooked when it comes to individual awards, and that's not me trying to.
We also had a guy finish second in the Calder in the last 6 years. Anybody know who that is?
years.
6 years. I mean, it's not Tarasenko, is it?
Nope.
No. You said what?
Oh, are you
Selke?
talking about Bennington?
Bennington.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He finished second in the Calder in 18-19.
Well, and I get that. Look, and I don't mean to sound like a hateful Blues fan, but like Wendy's right. Like it's even coming from a Blackhawks fan. Like
Nice
the Blues don't get. the
You see
Blues
that?
don't get recognized, for
Right.
that.
I agree.
And also, you're going to have to put into credit that there are some teams with younger rosters that are going to have players contending for like the Calder. The reason why I'm saying like Chicago might have a couple players that could contend, they're going to have a ton of rookies this year. Artem Lashunov, he's still considered a rookie this coming year. He only played 18 games last year. Sam Renzel, he's definitely, in my opinion, should be a Calder favorite this year.
Oh wow, he got lucky by 2 games, right? I think the limit is 20.
Yep.
Right.
I
20.
think Demidov is gonna be up there too. For sure.
Demidov definitely is up there. I think he's right now, in my opinion, the favorite to win the Calder because I don't see anyone from this year's NHL draft making the cut for their NHL rosters because from the first round because the Hawks already signed Anton Frundell, their 3rd overall pick.
Yeah.
But the reports are he's headed back to Sweden to play in the SHL this season and come into Chicago at the end of the SHL season to play with the Hawks with probably like 7 games left in the regular season.
Right. Yeah, I can see that, but I do think that Snuggerud is poised to be a Rookie of the Year candidate. I really do.
I mean, the NHL projects him at the first line, so he could get a lot of minutes to look into.
Well, and I think I really do think though, like it could be a blessing or it could be a curse that he's. The reason it could be a curse is you're giving a young guy too many minutes and it's too much pressure. That's the negative. The positive is he plays with a great player in Robert Thomas, and he exceeds.
He asked a good question. Is it 20 total or 20 season? I think it's 20 total, right?
I think it's 20 total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can play like.
You have to be 25
games,
25 and under and have played less than 20 games.
I'm actually making sure I'm right on how many games Lashunov played last season in the NHL.
Yeah.
It might have been 18. Yeah, it was 18 total games. But
I was pretty sure the number was 20. I know with goalies,
I'm going to look it up.
Right. Let Wendy look that up here real quick. We were an hour in. Let's go ahead and spend the back part of this talking about, since we already talked about the Blues reset. Let's talk about the Central Division preview, right? And again, this is early. There's still things that are going to happen between now and preseason or the start of the season. There's injuries are going to happen. There are things going to come up with. There's going to be more trades. There's going to be a signing or two. There's things that are going to happen, but you're pretty well set.
Okay, I got the rookie cutoff for total games to be considered a rookie.
Yeah,
and to play more than 2 seasons or something like that. It's 25 games or fewer in the prior NHL season. So, like Artem Lashunov, who played 18 games, will still be considered a rookie this coming year.
Right. Matlow says he dealt with the and this is talking about Snuggerud. He dealt with the pressures in the playoffs of the first line guys. He excelled in that role with the cup of tea, and he's only going to get better.
I don't mean to cut you up. I do agree that he did get to feel the pressure a little bit in the playoffs. He got put in a role that a young guy shouldn't particularly probably have to play in, but that experience that he got is going to do him nothing but good. I mean, you could just see the potential in Snuggerud. I mean, just in the 14 games that he played, you could see the potential there.
Yeah.
Just whether or not it works out.
I agree. It's going. The Central Division for about 5 years now, not counting the COVID season, has probably been the toughest division in the NHL.
Yeah. I mean,
I would put
I
the
think,
Atlantic up there because you've had more Stanley Cups coming out of the Atlantic.
Well, again, but the Atlantic is top heavy. You got one or two, maybe three good teams, but the bottom of it, that's why you're having the Stanley Cup come out of there. They're not having the playoff fight that the Central is.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Wendy, but yeah, I think the Central as like as a division as a whole, obviously I think there's a few stinkers in there, but like as a whole, there's teams that are so close. I think the West in general is just a lot closer than the East.
The West is a much better conference than the East, that's for sure. But
I don't think the Central has had, again, not counting the COVID season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Central's had a 3-team playoff year in the last 6 or 7. Like, you have to go way back to the last time that they only put 3 teams in the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
They were either putting 4 or 5.
I'm trying to think back if the Central's ever had the only 3 teams make it, because the Pacific for a long time sucked.
Yeah, I can't really think in recent memory of any time where there was just 3 teams in the Central to make it.
Right. Yeah. They're normally having 4 or 5 teams, right? Like this year they had 5. The Central is going to be right now. I look at the Blues, and first of all, a good hockey team starts with goaltending. Plain and simple. You've got to start with your goaltending. You need solid goaltending up and down. The Blues have, and I'm going to put it out there, the best tandem, 1-2, in the Central. You cannot put another tandem up against them and say that they're better. You might get one close. I think Dallas might be close.
Yeah, Dallas is about the only
They're
team.
not going to put it. Winnipeg, their backup, not there. Chicago, they're decent, but they're not better than Bennington and Hoffer.
I would say the Hawks have the 3rd best tandem in the Central Division.
Well, let's rank the tandem. Right? Who's your number 8?
Colorado.
I think it's a close toss up between Colorado or Utah.
I was going to go Utah. I would go Utah with my 8.
I prefer the goaltending in Utah over the 2 goalies Colorado has. They have Scott Wedgwood and Mackenzie Blackwood, who historically have not been really that good. In Utah, you have Bijmelka and
Connor Ingram,
which made for a solid tandem last year. They played well, but Veg ended up playing.
They don't have the defense around. They can't steal games. They don't have the player. They can't steal a game.
Well,
right.
And let me count. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, guys. Let me counter with this, Wendy. I don't disagree with you, and I don't mind. Like, depending on who you are, if you want to say that you like Utah's tandem better, I'm not going to sit here and argue, because I don't like Colorado's goaltending tandem either, and that's probably why I'm putting them at number 7.
Okay.
No, because I think to sit there and say that the Pacific wasn't strong. You got to remember, Calgary had the same amount of points as the Blues did, right? And Utah was right behind them.
Yeah, well, Utah is in the Central, but
Yeah, in the Central, but still, the Calgary was there, and Vancouver was right there. Right?
Well, Vancouver was there, but then Vancouver absolutely just spiraled.
Yeah, they fell off. But I don't think that you're going to sit there and say, yeah, I think they'll be better this year too. But the Central, you look at, you can't. I'm sorry, Wendy. I know you're a Blackhawks fan, and I get it. Okay, bud, I absolutely get it. But if you took your Blackhawks sweater off and you took your Blackhawks colored glasses off, and I took my Blues colored glasses off, and I took my blue sweater off, and I said, look at the team in the Central from top to bottom. Where would you legitimately put the Blues? And do you think that they've improved on where they were last year? Now, I know what my answer is. I want to know what yours is.
I think they're fourth. I do believe they're fourth in the division.
Okay. Do you think they've improved?
By points rise, yes.
Okay. Overall, do you think overall the product is improved?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because now because they're going to have a full season now under Montgomery.
Yeah, I've been touting that. I agree with you. I don't agree with fourth. I think third, challenging for second. Right? I think Colorado could slip to fourth. I'm not as sold on Winnipeg. Winnipeg's not going to have enough. Winnipeg could have second or third. Right? Winnipeg could be second or third. I think that oh man. Their goalie, and I'm blanking name now.
Hellebuck?
Who?
Yeah, Hellebuck. I think the fans are not going to give him any love. They blame him for the playoff failures.
I mean, he historically is terrible.
I mean, he's kind of to blame a little bit. I mean, you can't be a Vezina winning goalie and put up those numbers.
My issue is with Winnipeg, they overplay Hellebuck. And by the time the playoff
I've been saying that for years.
I've been saying it for years too. I say they overplay him, and he's going to be washed up for the playoffs. He always looks washed up. And if you watch his final, 5 games of the regular season, typically his final 5 starts, he usually does not look like Connor Hellebuck. He looks like a washed up Connor Hellebuck.
70 games is too much.
Is that what he played?
Yeah.
I think he played. Didn't he play 60 games? I think he played 60, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
a goalie in the NHL today should not be playing more than, in my opinion, more than 59 games a season. You want to split your starters.
I think it should be 2-1.
Okay.
I think it should be 2-1. I don't think it should be I don't think it should be closer to 50-50, but I think it should be 2-1. Right? I really do think it should be 2-1. And hold on a second.
I'm thinking. I could have swore. I thought Hellebuck played like 6. He definitely played 60.
He played like 65.
He played something ridiculous, and it happens every season. And I want to say that Connor Hellebuck does not perform in the playoffs. But I mean, I'm not a Winnipeg. I'm not a Winnipeg guy. I'm sorry. I don't buy into the team. I literally call them the Western Conference Toronto Maple Leafs. That's literally what they are.
Am I going to support the Winnipeg Jets this year? Yes, because Jonathan Toews is playing there. He played 63 games this past season.
Yeah, you beat
63.
Oh my God!
What?
Way too much.
Plus 3 in the world, in the 4 nations. So
that way too much.
A 66 game season, what he had in the regular season.
Yeah. Way too much.
That's 76%, almost 77% of the season, right?
Way
And
too much.
don't forget, he's probably the starter for Team USA in the Olympics. So, and that's more games in the Olympics than it was the Four Nations.
So 66%, 2/3 is 54 games. Right? 54, just over 54 games.
Which is the more preferred number, in my opinion.
I'm okay. I think I'm okay with 50, between 55 and 60.
I'm fine with that.
I think 55 to 60 is okay. And let's compare this. So he did play in the last 3 years, and he's won what? 2 Vesnas, and was third. He did 64 games, 60 games, and 63 games. He led the league in games played twice. 64 and 63. Bennington, on the other hand,
He has a total of 3 Vesnas, by the way.
okay,
Yeah.
well, that's just in the last 3 years, right? In the last 3 years, Bennington has played 56, 57, and 61. He has never had a Vesna vote. Should have a Vesna vote. Well, actually, he has his rookie year, but in the last 3 years, he didn't. Bennington plays better than his numbers, and I consistently say that. And I think he's going to have a better than a 900 and a 269 this year. Right?
The difference, I mean, the difference lies with Bennington and Hellebuck. Bennington shows up in big time games. Hellebuck seems to flounder in big time games.
Bennington does, and I said, when I said this on the radio, Mitch absolutely went nuts when I said this, right? And you remember hearing the interview, Justin?
Yes, I do.
When I said this, I said Bennington makes the saves you're not supposed to make, and Mitch went absolutely yes, he does. You're right. I mean, right? Am I wrong? Right?
No, you're not. No, you're not wrong.
When you see Bennington, when you look at the numbers on Bennington, and then you turn around and look at him play, Wendy, I know you hate him, but he plays better than his numbers. You have to admit that.
I do. I just hate the guy. I think he's
okay, and I get that. And that's
you
fair.
know me. I would never support Jordan Bennington,
and that's fine. I get it. No issue, bud.
If he ever came to Chicago, I will honestly be. I will be pissed. I will say that. I would be pissed if he ever came to the Blackhawks in his career. I don't think
you'd have to worry about that, to be honest.
I don't think you have to worry about it too. But I think in 2 years, he's the exact goalie you need.
I think we got our guy in net.
Right? Having that much experience with that much youth would be the guy you need.
I don't think. I think we're good for goaltending and Spencer Knight.
So, I don't mean to kind of drive us back onto topic here, but we were naming off tandems and we kind of got off track. Do we want to go back to that? Because we're only at 7. So
so 8 for me. 8 is Utah. 7 is Nashville. I don't trust Soros. I don't care who you put with them. I don't trust Soros. And I think, that team's going to be better this year. I really do think it is. But they've been screwing up in goal for a while, right? They've gotten rid of 2 decent goaltenders. Well, I know you don't like Wedgwood, but I think Wedgwood could have been a decent goaltender for them. But they also got rid of Askarov.
Their dumb move was getting rid of Askarov.
Yeah, Askarov was a absolute head scratching move. I mean, I don't hate that you put Nashville 7th. I just think that if I'm looking at it from an objective standpoint, I would take Saros over both goaltenders in Colorado.
Oh yeah, that's where I'm at. I have Nashville ranked 5th in tandems in the Central. I have Winnipeg ranked 6th in the Central for tandems because they really don't run a tandem.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't.
and that hurts that your backup guy doesn't. Your backup guy needs to steal one game a year.
Mhm.
Your backup guy needs to steal one game a year. And here's the thing about your backup guy. The majority of the time, he's playing an inferior team. The majority of the time. Right?
Mhm.
If you have a back-to-back, your starter is going to play the better of the two teams in most cases. Doesn't always happen, but in most cases. So San Jose doesn't have anything to help Askarov. So if your backup has to steal you one game a year. A solid backup will steal you between 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one backup in the Central right now that I think falls in that 2 to 3 category. And you can call me a homer all you want. It's Hofer.
Yeah, and you're talking about Hofer, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some of these backups steal games. Like I've seen like a goalie like Connor Ingram just absolutely just shut the door before. So I mean, I have seen that before. I think every goalie on that we're talking about has a chance to steal a game. It's just, do they have the ability to do it consistently? I think Joe Hofer is definitely a guy who can consistently do it.
Hey, Ranger, or Ryan, hold this question up for next season, our next show. Hold that question for next show. I think that's one I'd like to talk about next show. Scary, I haven't seen Scary in a while. Ilya Nabokov will be the best goalie in the Central next year.
I think
nice joke there with Ilya Nabokov.
I would hope so.
For me, I think it's it sounds like we're shitting on Connor Hellebuyck, and Connor Hellebuyck's a great goalie. It's more so the way that Winnipeg uses Connor Hellebuyck. Connor Hellebuyck was used in a way where he can get the proper rest that he needs instead of playing those 64 games a season. And even more than that, because like you said, he played the 4 Nations. He's playing other stuff outside of the actual regular season. He might be successful, but I'm not going to put all that failure on Hellebuyck, because Winnipeg is not a playoff team. They're not. I'm sorry, they're not.
Scary. I look at the KHL as a step below the ECHL. Right? I can't look
say
at
it's above the ECHL.
Not much.
I would say it's much higher than the ECHL.
Well, the ECHL is the one that's below the AHL, right?
Yeah, and I think it's equal to a little bit. Honestly, I think the KHL could be closer to the second best league in the world.
I don't know about that.
The thing is, you just don't see it happening right now with all the with more of the political atmosphere and how it is. You aren't going to see you can't really watch what's happening in the KHL anymore. You used to could watch what's happening in the KHL on ESPN Plus.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. I'm down a little bit on the KHL. I don't know. The last couple of guys that I know that have come over from the KHL have not done well.
Kaprizov?
Huh?
Kaprizov?
Well, Kaprizov is I'm talking within the last couple of years, right? The guys that have come over, the Russians that have come over that have played in the KHL have struggled.
Yeah.
Right. Askarov is one of them.
Askarov is really good, though.
He's good, but for whatever reason, he's struggling. Right. I mean, I get San Jose doesn't have a team to put ahead of him, but at the same time, Nashville, that was a scratch your head, bro.
I mean, he was the number 1 goalie in the AHL 2 years ago. I
know you put Chicago third in the goalie tandem. seems to be I struggle with putting third. I can see fourth, but I also struggle putting Minnesota third.
The reason I have Minnesota ranked fourth,
Yeah.
you're going to have a question mark in a rookie backup in just for Wallstedt, but you also have a really good starter in Gustafson.
That's just
Yeah.
The Hawks, I have number 3 because you have a guy in Spencer Knight taking the realm as the number 1 goalie, and then he tandems well. He was tandeming well in the second half with Arvid Soderblom with Chicago. And Soderblom, yes, he had that one bad season his rookie year, but then last year he proved to be a solid backup option for the team. Did he give up a lot of goals at points? Yeah, but the Hawks had weak defense. I just think Soderblom and Knight is a solid 1A option for the Hawks with Knight and a 1B option with Soderblom for backup because you're going to see more of a closer split in starts, but Knight taking the realm as with more starts. And you can potentially see Spencer Knight contend for that third goalie spot for Team USA in the Olympics.
Yeah. I could see Knight hitting the 50 game mark.
I do. I really. That's where I'm pegging Knight this year.
Yeah.
Actually.
Right. Minnesota is the question mark a little bit, but here's my thing with the tandems. And sometimes it's hard to, when you're doing these tandems, to how do you separate the team in front of them from the tandem itself, right? And in most cases you can. Colorado, like you guys having Colorado 7th or 8th at the bottom, I put Colorado a little bit higher because it's a little bit harder for me to separate that team in front of them, right? A little bit harder because they've got such a good team in front of them that they make up for what they lack in goaltending. Don't like their goaltending, but the team in front of them helps make up for some of that. And at the same time, I go to Chicago and I go, okay, I get what you're saying with the goaltenders, but I look at the team in front of them and I go, that's going to hurt them. That's going to hurt them. How are you going to steal a game with that team in front of you? How are you going to? And that's just my struggle right now, Wendy. I get what you're saying. I absolutely agree with you on the quality, but it's harder for me to separate the team in front of them in that case.
I will say this. If you look at the second half season, post-trade deadline Blackhawks versus pre-trade deadline Blackhawks before Spencer Knight became a Hawk, Spencer Knight actually stole at least 5 of his starts when he played this season with the Hawks. And versus Peter Mrazek, he couldn't do anything to save a beach ball since he came back from injury. I love Peter Mrazek. I always will support Peter Mrazek. I was upset to see him go, but I was also super psyched that we have Spencer Knight in Chicago because he was actually the guy I wanted them to draft back in 2019. And Arvid Soderblom played much better this season, where he did actually steal some starter time in net for the Hawks before the trade deadline, before Spencer Knight came. He became the starter number 1 guy in Chicago before Spencer Knight came to the Blackhawks. Peter Mrazek seriously lost his number 1 spot. I would say mid-January, Peter Mrazek lost his number 1 spot to Arvid Soderblom, and they ended up getting Knight for Steph Jones, and Knight proved to be a solid number one guy when they got him.
Again, I got it. I'm with you. And also, I had a message here I was trying to deal with.
Yeah.
Do you understand my point? Where with some
Yeah, I
things,
can see where you're coming from, but
Where
I'm just looking at a tandem by itself. By how many games are these goalies going to start versus where are they going to sit, and that's how I'm sitting at it. I'm not looking at the teams up front of them. I'm looking more strictly into the goaltending itself.
And I'd say in most cases, sorry, Justin. Go ahead. You go first, and then I'll go.
No. I just was saying I'm my rankings are going like how Wendy's saying, like they're going based off of goaltending alone. Like I get what you're saying about like teams, but like my view set changes if we're talking about the teams in front of those goaltenders.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, in most cases in the Central, you can separate the goaltender from the team in front of it. Right? You can do that. You can do that with St. Louis. You can do that with Dallas. I think you can do it with Nashville. I think you can do it with Utah. Winnipeg, I struggle with. Colorado, I struggle with. And Chicago, I struggle with. Separating the tandem from the team in front of them. Being it said that the team in front of them is either so good or so bad that it affects the tandem's play. Does that make sense? Right?
Yeah.
You look at Winnipeg, and Winnipeg's actually got a pretty good team in front of them that will make up for some of the backups' failures. That's why they won the President's Trophy. But they overplayed Hellebuck. So that but the team in front of them does sway it a little bit for me.
I mean, what was it? Eric Comrie got, was it right? Eric Comrie got 12 games.
Say again?
I said Eric Comrie got 12 games. I'm not gonna. I think that's I think it's even less. You said Hellebuck played what? 63 games.
63.
Yeah, so he played. I think he played less than that, right?
Oh,
or no? Am I?
19 more games.
Okay, I'm miscounting. Sorry, but still, I mean, not enough for me to say, oh, he factored into the President's Trophy. To me, at least, but.
Do you realize Mackenzie Blackwood was the second best goalie last year? If you take his Sharks numbers away, so you're right, guy. Wow, I'm right.
Here's my thing with Blackwood.
Yeah.
He's done that before where he played on a good team up front of him before in New Jersey and falls completely apart the following season. I don't trust Blackwood.
I'm with you. And I have Wedgwood as my backup on my fantasy team, and I don't trust him either. But I couldn't trade him. As what one of their goalies are, no one wants to pay me what he's worth, what I think he's worth in our fantasy league. That's just a story for another time. Great talk tonight, guys. Really good talk. We're at an hour and a half, and I kind of want to limit the show to an hour and a half right now. I mean, I know the three of us could go to 2.5, 3 hours without a problem. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Wendy, you're on vacation. I don't want to take too much time away from you.
That's all right.
Justin, I know you got to work tomorrow night.
It's Saturday, my boy. School's not open on Saturdays.
Okay. Okay. So, but I've had a good night. I've had a fun chat. I need a potty break. No, I don't need a potty break. I enjoy this a lot. Sometimes I wonder if I'm unfortunately just repeating the same things over and over again, and that kind of kills the show. You guys need typers for the show. What I need is commercials. I need commercials so we can throw a 30-second or a minute commercial.
Always play the rant video you had where you dropped the F-bomb like 5 times on.
That's a good video. I'm sorry. That is a good video.
Do you even still have that video?
I do, and I don't think Justin's ever seen it. Have you ever seen my rant?
No,
Justin?
I don't think so. Maybe I have, but I don't. I can't think of it all.
Hold on a second. I think I know where this video is. Give me a second.
No, I saw it, Ryan. I saw you change your picture to yourself in a Blackhawk uniform.
Not. Where is it?
It was like St. Patrick's Day 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. Oh no, I know it because it's the three. It's got the three of us in it. And no, I have it saved. I just don't know where I have it saved. You give me a moment, I may be able to find it. Let's see, I got a videos folder here. Video opening, prizes, Olympics. Ah, here it is. Here it is. This is, Lance is here. Hey, Lance. I am going to play my rant. Here we go.
Right? Here's another one. Oh my God, Scandella's the worst fucking defenseman, and I'm sorry, I'm going off. I'm pissed. I'm so sick and tired here. Scandella's so fucking bad. He can't play worth a shit. Fucking trade Scandella for a goddamn bag of pucks right the fuck now. It don't work that way, people.
There you go.
Buddy was passionate about Marco Scandella.
Yeah. Because I didn't. So first of all, I never was down on Scandella like a lot of people were. And Golf King, I haven't seen him in a while, but Golf King was a good person on the show, and he knew that was going to get me riled up, and he did it on purpose. But yeah, it was at that moment we were having. I forget what the discussion we were having, but it just hit me, and I had to let it go.
I think it was getting close to the trade deadline, and that's how it led to it.
Yeah, it may have been.
I'll take the topic of discussion was Marco Scandella for 200, Alex.
I was obviously wearing a St. Patrick's Day.
Scandella was not a bad defenseman for us. He was injured one year, but he wasn't a bad defenseman.
I would say it was March of 2022 since I was wearing a St. Patrick's Day Hawks hat and jersey, so it would have been closer to St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. But it's a fun rant. I haven't played it in a while, but I think that's the first time Justin's seen that, right?
Yes, I believe so.
All right. Might have a new guest coming on in the next week or so. On Twitter, he goes by STL Hockey Fan. I've seen some of the stuff he posted. I sent him a message, and that's what I've been kind of messaging with here. He's messaged me back. He likes our content and may want to come on with us. So we might bring him on. I'll do a little more vetting before we get to that point. I'm excited for the season. I really am. I do have one question. So this year, the season's starting on August 9th. Is that right? October 9th. Pardon me.
October 9th. Yeah.
Is that right, Wendy?
The Hawks play the first game of the year, so
yeah.
Let me pull it up. Hang on, I have it on my phone.
Oh, and I know the Blues play on October 9th too. So
actually, it might be the 7th.
Blackhawks, good.
Because we don't play opening night.
First game of the year is October 7th.
Okay.
5 o'clock start. No, 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Central.
Yeah, so they've moved. Last year, the season didn't start till like the 15th, right, of October. It was late, right? I know. Well, I think our first home game was like the 15th. We started a little earlier, but so they moved it back or moved it, earlier in the year. But the Olympic break pushes the playoffs back a little bit.
Yep.
Next year, and this will be our last topic before we call it a night. Next year, they're going to add 2 more games. You're going to shorten the preseason to 4 games, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, 4 games and
add 2 games. So my question is, when do you now? They're not going to have, at least I don't know. I think next year they might next season they might have the World Cup of Hockey in the middle there.
I don't think so. I can't remember right now. But in my opinion, start the season October 1st. Just get it going. Regular season start October 1st.
I'm on board with that. What about you, Justin? And you're muted right now, bud.
I agree. I think starting it on the 1st is a good idea. I don't know if that's just a specific.
You're kind of late to it. We talked about that earlier. I'm kind of. We've been on for an hour and 40 minutes, and I'm gonna call the show here, and that I want to thank Justin for coming on and talking to us tonight. Being a great co-host, new co-host. We're kind of figuring things out a little bit, how it's going to work with me and him. So give us some leeway as we kind of feel how the show's going to work. I had to do that with other co-hosts I had to do that with Ashley. Got to get that feel. So I greatly appreciate it. Wendy, like I said, you're one of those guys that are welcome almost anytime. If we're just doing a regular show, I don't mind. If I'm doing like a special show or something, give me a heads up.
Yep.
Right. That started September 20th. I think that's too early.
I would say that's too early.
Yeah,
that could be a perfect start for preseason.
Yeah, I would think the preseason would be a good, have your camps open on the 20th.
Yeah.
And get your first game in on like the 23rd. Right? That would be my thing. He's saying bye, Wendy. John Jeffrey saying thanks, Justin. No, look, guys, I enjoy the show. I'm trying. The last 2 years or so, I have struggled with this show. I'm gonna be completely honest. I have struggled with the show. I've struggled whether I wanted to keep doing it. It is very, very hard to do this show by yourself, especially when you're talking an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, sometimes 4 hours. I don't have commercials set in. I don't have breaks. And when you're watching the game and there's only 1 or 2 people out there, it is very, very hard to do this. Justin has come along at the right time. He seems to balance me really good. We have good conversation. Wendy has always been a fun guy to have on, and I like having him on, and he's great as a guest host. We can have him on anytime, that we're doing things. And there's been times, and I say this, Wendy, with all the love in the world, mm-hmm. I know that when you've wanted to come on, I just wasn't in the mood for Blackhawks talk. And I've said that. I've told you that straight up, right?
You said it a few times.
Right? I've said it straight up. And when you come on, I want you to talk Blackhawks.
Mm-hmm.
I actually do that. I do. And the reason being is, and I have said this time and time again, I want the Blues and the Blackhawks to both be good.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they are both good, the rivalry is better.
Yeah. Right now, the rivalry is dead.
Yeah. It's gone. Right? Bedard kicked it up a little bit with his Michigan or showboating on Bennington.
It was not showboating. That was a skill.
Right.
And also Bennington closing his eyes because he was terrified, loading his diaper.
That's good.
Hey, you know what? I respect you, Wendy, but hey, guess what? The Blues had the last laugh when the Blackhawks fucking choked. So it's all right.
Right. So I do appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. You guys have a great night. This is Guy for Windy City Hockey, Nick and Justin Scott saying aloha, mahalo, And you know there's only one way for this show to end. Right, boys?
Hawaii Blues fan, we're bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues!
This is Guy, Justin, and Wendy saying aloha mahalo. And we'll see you next time on BlueNote Fan Report.